Welcome to Lab 2 of our electronics class. We'll be using the basic V3 Intro to Electronics by eTron Circuit Labs. They do have a website that you can purchase this at, and if at all possible, I'll try to link that in the description box. Here we go. We'll be on page 12 and 13 in our V3 book. We're going to be talking about resistors, color codes, and types of resistors. In your parts box, please open it up, look at a resistor, look at the characteristics of the resistor. Which ones of these is a resistor? Well, if you picked this right here, you picked a resistor. Please note that it has metal on both sides and that there are little bands running across it. I'll set this down here. We'll take a look at that. Hopefully it won't roll off. All right, so we're going to find out what those bands mean. I'm going to flip it this way. So if you have gold or silver, I would say like it's the end of your working problem in order to figure it out. So I want to go over a few things. I also want to start by saying that resistors have a value, and the value is what each one of these bands represents. So let's jump right into it. The first band on the resistor, which is number 1 right here, represents a number. Band 2 represents a number. Band 3 is our multiplier. I'm going to pull this little sign down. It's our multiplier. That's going to go right there on the band 3. They've got these numbers down below it. And then we have band 4. Band 4 is our tolerance. If band 4 is gold, it'll be a 5% tolerance. If it's silver, it'll be a 10% tolerance. And that's just something you need to know. The very last one, the band 4. The band 3 being our multiplier, remember, I pulled the little sign down, being our multiplier, band 3, tells us how many zeros that is. So let's take a look now at our resistor. See how the metal's coming out both of them. And we have 4 bands. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one's a number. The second one's a number. The third one is our multiplier. So I'm going to put that little X above that third one right there because it's our multiplier. And then we have our fourth one, which is known as our tolerance. Tolerance, which tolerance means the accuracy of the resistor. I'll flip back over there. Accuracy of the resistor. So our fourth band represents the tolerance. So at this time, let's calculate and let's see what the measure of this one would be. So I'm going to slide that right there. Grab me a pen. Actually, I'm going to slide it up because so we can just like kind of touch the bands. So I have this first one. Then I have my second one. Then I have my third one. And then I have my fourth one. So I have 4 bands on my resistor. Now, I'm going to need to slide this over because we're going to have to refer back to the chart on page 13. On this chart, we'll tell you what each color represents. And this would be the Electronics Industry Association puts out these charts. So you're going to have 2 different charts that you'll actually be working with. But they'll put these charts out. And I'll give you the gold and silver on them as well. Okay, so we have our number 1. And it is red. So let's look over here at our red. And it says it's what value? 2. So red is 2. And so it doesn't get confusing. I'm actually going to take this away and come back with just a white sheet of paper to put up there because I don't want that 1, 2, and 3 to confuse you. Okay, so on our first one, we're just going to write down that it is red. Then we're going to put red. We're going to put red. And we're going to put gold. And above this third one, we're going to put an X because that's our multiplier. So our red was 2. Oh, so we have red again, so that's 2. But on this one, I like to put 10 to the second power. And remember, this just lets us know the number of zeros. Our band 3, which is known as our multiplier, tells us how many zeros. And then our gold, it's already told us, is a 5% tolerance. And so with this being said, note that these first two are our root. They're not going to change. So I can go ahead and put equals and put my 2 and my 2. Then I'll look at my multiplier, and it's times 10 to what? The second power, because it's still a red, so it's 2. All right, 10 to the second power equals, and so now this just means add 2 zeros. So I can simply write my root and go 1, 2. Resistors are measured in ohms. So let me pull this down and let you take a look at that. Resistors are measured in ohms. An ohms is simply a horseshoe with feet on both sides. So it looks like a horseshoe, an upside down U, and then it has feet on both sides. And that is known as an ohm, O-H-M. Okay? And that's how a resistor, the units that a resistor is measured in. So I'm going to put my ohm out beside of it at a 5% tolerance. And where I got the 5% was right here under my gold line. And then in this chart, it tells me that gold on page 12 is 5%. Okay. Then I'll come back down here. And then I want to tell you something special. When we're working with resistors, there's a symbol that we can use for the thousands. And that symbol is K. And I'll show it to you right here. K equals 1,000. Resistors are measured in ohms. And those are just little notes, but K equals 1,000. So on our paper, I'm going to simply put right here, K equals 1,000. And you just need to remember that because it'll make your resistor life easier. So what do I have here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I have 2,200 ohms at 5% tolerance. So I can shorten this to 2.2K. Now, why did I put a decimal in there? Well, because look here, 1, 2, 3 places. So in order for me to use the K, I have to now put a decimal here because the K represents 1, 2, 3 places. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3. So if I represent it with a K, I now have to put the decimal in there because I went from 2,200 to 2.2K. So if I was going to change this back to this, I would have to move this over 1, 2, 3 places, adding my 3, 1, 2, 3 zeros or place values back in there. Okay, so I can now write this 2.2K ohms, or I can write OHM, either one, OHM, at my 5% tolerance. Okay. That one's also found in the book on page 13 at a 2.2K ohm plus or minus 5% tolerance. A common tool that is used in resistor color charts. In this lesson, there are 2 different color charts shown. One that covers the 4-band resistors, as shown on the right, and the other that covers a 5-band resistor, as shown on the left. Okay, so we use the one for the 4-band because that's what we had, and that one was on the left. And then this other one that I showed you earlier is the for the 5-band resistor. Okay. Let's now look at wattage, and I need to tell you one thing. The smaller the size of the resistor, the lower the wattage. The smaller the size of the resistor, the lower the wattage. And then you can look at the bottom of page 13 on wattage. I will come back with another video on more example problems on how to find the units, the value of a resistor. Thank you for watching.